Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Joe Swarner. I'm your host for today's State of Decay 2 stream and resident wordsmith. Well, maybe not a resident yet, but I'm getting there. I make words. I make words pretty. Anyway, in writing, at least. Anyway, so hello, happy Monday. We're here to talk to you about a few things that are going on in the PTR with regard to infestations and how the game is changing in the year ahead, and some of the things that we're planning on putting in front of you as well. To help me out with that is someone who has been absolutely integral to our efforts in changing up how infestations work. You've probably seen her around on Discord and paying a really close attention to what everybody out there has been saying. Everybody, put your hands together for Zoe, who is our fancy engineer.
Hi. I'm here to tell you about things. A few things.
Just a few things, and she's pretty fancy about it, so we'll all be much better off with. But without further ado, the big news, the really big news for this stream, and it's not going to take a whole lot of time, I hope, but if it does, oh well, that's life. Here to talk to us about future merch opportunities are Wonder and Brant. Woo! Wait, that's still.
Go crazy! Yeah, we wanted to give you guys an update. Merch is something that we get asked about a lot. I would love that on a t-shirt. Oh man, I wish that I could get that on a pint glass, etc. And we have always said we want that too. We are working on it, and we have been. I feel like it's been ongoing for most of last year. Was just kind of the process of starting that up. And then working with the vendor who does the printing. And then we went through quite a long process of looking at different logos and even in-game logos and how we would like to put those together. And then like doing some mock-ups, and then we send the mock-ups out, and maybe, some tweaks come back. So finally where we are today is right before the end of the year, right before the end of 2021. We aligned on a couple different styles of merch that we thought that we liked the most of all the ideas that we had. So we sent all those that we had greenlit as a team. Joe was in the meeting, Brant was in that meeting, Megan designed some of the swag that you're about to see. So once we had greenlit kind of like our initial list, we sent that to Snow, who's the vendor, through our amazing partners at the Xbox Gear Store. And what they do is then they sample it. So they do a run and then they send it to us. And then we check for things like, is the placement right? Should something be bigger or smaller? Do we like the color, etc.? So Brant and I last week took a little jaunt out to Microsoft campus and picked up our box of initial swag. So these are all the samples that we just got. Brant and I have been the only ones who've actually even seen them in person, and most of the studio hasn't even seen these. So this is your guys' truly first peek at what we are going to be having in our brand new merch store coming very soon. Hopefully next month. That's our target. So, Brant, should we do a little show and tell?
Star wipe. Oh, wait, we don't have that, do we?
Star wipe.
Okay, so yes, we do have the first run, and these are, as Wonder said, a lot of these are still sort of in progress. There will be, tweaks here and there to the designs and things like that. But first and foremost, I'm going to show you something that we should always have had, and now we do, is your State of Decay mug with the logo that everybody loves. It's
classic.
Works. I've tested it. I haven't tested it with hot liquid, but I'm pretty sure that works too.
But we know it works with cold liquid, so that's half the battle.
That's right. All right. And then something that I'm super excited about is I'm going to show as a set. It is the Fork in the Road diner designs that our own Megan did that are beyond amazing.
So and you may have some of you may have seen these on a live stream before, and we've given a couple of versions of this logo out that Megan designed.
Yeah, these are amazing. I think we've decided that we're going to switch the color of the mug white to, better sort of play into that nostalgic diner feel. But we've got the Fork in the Road Diner mug. And what's super cool,
Ooh.
coasters. And these aren't paper. These are awesome coasters.
They're really nice. They're really nice coasters. They come in a little set as well. And it would be great if we can make them like a set that you can buy together if you want to. But yeah, and we love that kind of, they're looking at maybe we'll tweak the shape of that mug, see if there's something more dinerish. If you ever sat in a diner, sometimes they're kind of like have a little indentation, and they're usually more of like a stoneware color. So that's what we're looking to get, that gets that late night diner feel where the coffee has been brewing since 6 a.m. and is bitter. Bitter as the apocalypse.
Bitter as my black soul. The other Fork in the Road, we have another bonus Fork in the Road diner item, a mouse pad.
Yes.
With the heart attack burger sitting there.
Such a good one. We all need one of these. I swear, as soon as the studio sees these, they're gonna be like, excuse, we must have those.
You can see how a mouse goes perfectly right on there. Anyways, so Fork in the Road is an iconic place in State of Decay. It's a favorite in our hearts, and it perfectly falls into the faded Americana setting that Doug set out for State of Decay many years ago. And it's one of my favorite things that we've done. But there's more.
But there's more, because not only can you hold your merch and use your merch as a mouth pad, you can also wear it.
We're going to start providing some of these State of Decay logos in, you'll see a variety of colors. Uh-oh, there goes my camera. Okay.
Oh, there it is. You're back.
Right. So we've got green and black t-shirt. And again, none of these are considered final until you see them in the store, but these are the designs that we liked and have decided to move forward with. Here's one of my favorites, a Digicam shirt, the Skeagle. Oh, come on, don't do that.
Yeah, we wanted to get the emblem out there because, we love this logo so much and it's so iconic. So yeah, we're still kind of deciding what will be final in terms of the colors of the t-shirts, but we're trying to have a wide variety, and there'll be, all the sizes possible, women's cuts as well. So look for that hopefully in February.
Here's a great example of why we do these proofs. On the back of each one, there's going to be a little State of Decay logo that's not on the front, but this one is tiny because the printer heard half an inch and we said half an inch down from the collar. So they printed a logo that's literally a half an inch. So we'll have them change that, of course. But this is the kind of thing that is the back and forth that takes us forever because, giant bureaucracies are slow to move. But I'm so excited that we're finally getting
just as an idea, I think if we have a design that's like everyone is like, yep, let's go sample it. We send the request, they put it into their manufacturing queue, they ship it back. We meet with our partners and look at it. And that could take like 3 months at the fastest.
Yeah. So yeah, another logo, this one reversed, which is also very striking. One of the big reasons why we don't have a merch store already is because little companies like us didn't have the money to warehouse this stuff. And that's why now with technology the way it is, print on demand, we can start, doing a lot more of this kind of stuff. Here is a fan favorite, one of my favorites of all time, and one of the most iconic brands in State of Decay is Bronto Gas, the gas station. This one was a no-brainer. It's a must-have, and there's what the logo on the back should look like. So people behind you will know that you're a supporter. People in front of you may have no idea what you're talking about, but you can educate them.
Yeah, we love this
Okay.
logo. We've done like pins. We did a round of those pins, and some of you might have those. There's a glow in the dark edition. So we're looking at doing some other things with the Bronto gas because it's just so fun, and it's kind of like a nice insider, feature for State of Decay 2. So
Yeah,
super excited.
The Bronto cast definitely deserves like a travel mug or something like that. That'd be fun too. Here's a logo for the more hardcore military. We got the Red Talon logo. One of them, Mark Lautenbach, has done a new Red Talon logo that is fantastic that we may have to work in the future as well. But now you can walk around saying that you're a badass military or ex-military operator. And last but not least, also Red Talon, except this is a hoodie. So you can be warm and walk around pretending like you're a badass ex-military operator. It's pretty cool.
I hate to interrupt here, Brant and Wonder, but one of the big questions that seems to be in chat as we were talking about merch is, will this stuff ship overseas?
Yes, as far as we know, it should ship anywhere overseas. Obviously, shipping is going to be dependent on your region. I also saw a question about the t-shirt blends, and I believe they're all cotton blends. They might say Brant on the tag there.
I will check.
We definitely do want to offer more colors. I agree with, there was a comment in YouTube chat about wearing white. I also would like to see some additional options. That one is a little bit hard one because, the green really needs to stand out. But we can also let you know, like, the hoodie turned out so nice. It doesn't do it justice on the camera. It feels really high quality, really thick and comfortable.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to be stealing it from Brant in the near future.
What?
I mean,
Wonder knows where I live too. This is bad. She could show up at any moment. These say they are 100% cotton. So this is an all cotton t-shirt. I don't see the tag for oh no, there it is. I can't read it. 100%, it probably, 100% cotton. Yes. All right.
classic, your classic game shirt.
So they sent, Microsoft also included some samples for other possible places to put our logos and things like that. There's some hat ideas. There's some pint glass ideas. I'm not going to show them because they don't have our work on them, but there's a lot of things that this print on demand technology has allowed for. And so now that we're getting the support from the store, Wonder is going to go on the warpath, and we're going to try and get as much as we can. As long as, we'll keep making stuff as long as y'all keep wanting to grab it. So thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely. This will be the initial offering. Like I said, don't have a hard date yet, but we are trying to get this set up for February. So probably middle of next month is a good bet. Hopefully not any longer than that. Because these samples came in really well, we only have a few tiny tweaks to make. So we should be able to get these ready for you guys. And then I see lots of ideas. We love the ideas. We'll probably have, Heather will have a way to weigh in on what you would like to see in the future. And what we'd like to do is kind of keep things running so they keep things fresh. So definitely hit us with your ideas and let us know which one you're most excited for.
All right, folks. So thank you, Brant. Thank you, Wonder, for the merch update and for all of the long hours and meetings that it took to get this in front of folks. Without further ado, we're gonna pop over on into gameplay. Follow us on social media for more updates about the merch that you just heard about, and when it's specifically going to be available. When we get new stuff in, I can guarantee you that that's where it's going to show up. So All right. On into gameplay with Joe and Zoe. We're going to be talking about the PTR today. So thank you very much. There was our merch announcement. Everybody have a great day. Oh, wait, not. That sounds like I'm leaving. No. All right, I don't know.
We're
Let's-
leaving. Bye, chat.
You're
We'll
leaving.
see
Bye,
you
everybody.
later.
See you later, Brant. See you later, Wonder. Okay. But now
I guess I should show my face.
yeah, now we got Zoe, and I should probably if you don't mind, I'd like to go back and fix this before we go too much further. Let's not have a squishy Zoe. We don't. What number would be good here? There, that's a less squishy Zoe. And then we'll. Sorry, while I figure out my technical problems, because I'm silly. I don't know why this went so sideways so quickly for everyone.
Technical problems are an inevitable part of streaming.
Yeah. All right, so that should be good. That should put us a little closer. Does that look more acceptable? At least, maybe not totally acceptable. Okay, awesome.
It works for me.
Cool. And anyway, on to the show. All right, so we've got. I've been messing around here. We are at dawn, roughly, here in Providence Ridge, so you guys can see all of the new mist that was added in the last update. I'm gonna have to change this character out though, so give me just a second. Or I could just let's use the remote device. All right. So what we've noticed is that people have been talking about a couple of very, very important strategies when it comes to handling infestations. Now, I've been playing this one for a while, and I let my infestations kind of grow wild. I also had them down here growing wild a little bit, but I wanted to just focus them in this set part of town. And we'll go with something that I just heard. We found out that, like, on this map in particular, because I did all of my stuff up here, my base and my outposts are probably safe. So I did not know that when I started doing this, but apparently that's a thing. So we'll be working on that. But we'll go down here into this area and we'll start looking around at some of these infestations. Now, as you can see, I let it grow quite a bit. And you can see the little green timer as it's going off. And as the little green timer goes around and around, the infestations start sort of reproducing and sending out more stuff. Zoe, if you wanted to talk about that, I wouldn't mind taking a little break while I drive down the hill.
Sure. Yeah, so this is the new stuff that's been in the PTR for a bit. We have a visual listing of both how severe an infestation is, which is to say how many screamers are at that infestation, and the timer, which tracks how long before its next action. Now, in the PTR right now, this is basically just a repeating loop that attempts to spawn a new infestation, and if it can't do that, it attempts to grow the infestation. But there's a lot of cases where neither of those are possible. Like, for instance, when you get to the cap of infestations that can exist on a given map. At present, in the public version of this, when you get there, the timer will just keep spinning over and never do anything, which is not very fun and it's not very visually consistent. So one of the things coming up, based a little bit on user feedback actually, is when you reach that cap, additional infestation turnovers will spawn siege hordes, and they will all head towards your base. So it will no longer be a free lunch when you get to that point. Another thing that we've done in response to user feedback is we have adjusted the distance from the base at which sieges will start. Rather than trying to spawn a siege when they reach the center of your base, which can sometimes run into problems if they're trying to walk through walls or something, We will now spawn a siege when the infestation horde reaches the edge of your safe zone, which gives you a little bit less time to prepare and also prevents the zombies from getting stuck with their weird pathfinding.
Like their inability to climb hills, for instance.
Inability to climb hills, and sometimes they get stuck behind where the screamer is going and they don't quite realize how to get from point A to point B because they're just trying to follow a screamer that's stuck because it can't climb nearly as much.
And then me, I'm just trying to get through here without immediately blowing up the only car that I have available to me on this map. Alright, so let's see what we
You can
can
always
do.
spawn more.
Well, except that I can't on this. I'm playing in the actual PTR build, so there's no way for me to just spawn more. Alright, so we're gonna stop down here. Ow. Oh, there's a barrel. Where is it?
Do you want to keep talking about the stuff, or do you want me to keep talking about the new stuff that we're adding?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the things that I've noted about this is that it's really easy, and especially one of the first things that we saw on the playtest realm feedback was that it's really easy to take care of these when you're using a vehicle. Which is what I was kind of trying to show earlier, is that oh goodness, that you back over a screamer, or you back over the horde that's around a screamer, and if that same horde happened to be if that same horde happened to be an infestation horde, it would have been. I mean, that's sort of the end of it right there. If you wanted to talk more about what we're doing to sort of make sure that it's not overly simple.
I think that's still a little bit up in the air, but we have been discussing the possibility of sticking some interesting companion freak zombies in with the screamers and hordes.
Interesting companions, you say? I wonder what those could be.
Such an unfair situation as when a road bloater just pops up right in front of you. You can see where the infestation horde is on the map, so
Right.
if you then run into it, you do so at your own risk.
Oops.
But that is definitely something in the design and consideration phase rather than the we're going to be launching this next phase. Something that we are going to be launching next in response to the thing you noted where the map you're on, you're in a space where infestations won't spawn in your direction, is we're working on extra controls and extra ability for infestations to find their way from different areas of the map to where your base is.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's by increasing the range at which they search for possible targets, or by something that Cat Rice, a coworker, I hope I said his name correctly, implemented recently, where
that's a feral.
currently infestations just spread randomly. Like the first one that reaches its spread timer will spread, but that can mean that infestations spread away from the base where we want them to be spreading towards it. So Cat implemented a feature where the system will find the closest infestations to the player base and prioritize spreading from those specifically, which means that overall, the infestation army will move towards your base consistently. Geoffrey points out that the audio is a bit loud, or I'm a bit quiet.
Oh, okay. Fix that really quick. We'll go in here. Audio. All right.
Cool. So, we're working on how infestations spread across the map so they're more dangerous to an established base, even one in the corner like yours.
Nice. And so, one of the things that folks were noting. What did I just? I must have just cleared an infestation by looking at that building. And so that brings us to other things that. Oops. sometimes infestations kind of auto clear.
Oh man,
But
it's a screamer.
as you can see, like look at that. There's still 2 screamers like heading out of that infestation.
They got bored. They pieced out.
Yeah, they were ready to move on to a different place. Apparently, they're like, nobody's here to attack us. Wait, what's that? Why did you shoot me in the back of the head?
I think they have some wander AI or something.
Yeah. I had some questions somewhere, and I have lost the thread. There we go. What happens if we kill the screamer? Just the screamer is one of the questions. What happens to the horde? Will it stop? Will it change direction?
That is up in the air right now.
Okay, doke. What am I don't know, I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, that's right. Here we go. Restream chat. That way we can see it in there. Make sure that if you have a lot of questions for us about the strategies that you've seen, or just some problems that you're seeing in it as well, go ahead and drop those in chat. They do get passed on to us. How long do they last before a new infestation starts going to spread? Before it starts spreading, and do these times change on different difficulties? Is one of the questions from Nando. I'm assuming this is over on YouTube.
So the time for spreading is generated based on a couple factors, including how much noise you're making at your base, and how many, newly with the upcoming PPR features, how many infestations are on the map, and how many plague nodes have been defeated actually. And it does have hooks to the difficulty system. So we should see different behaviors on Nightmare, Lethal versus Green and Normal.
Well, and I know that was one of the things that, I pretty much exclusively play on Lethal. And I know that when I was poking around with it, that there were some people who were talking about how it seems like the lethal spawn rate is much faster than even that on Nightmare. And so, one of the things that we talked about, oh look, there's some screamers. Let's go get them.
I think your targets are disagreeing with you.
Well, I got 2 of the 4. Like, I don't know. 2 out of 4 is not bad. The first time. All right.
Pretty bad for a review score.
Yeah, I suppose. But we could driving backwards is also a quote-unquote strategy. Mostly because we don't want the engine to go boom. All right. So, like for instance, here we've got a full-on infestation, right? There we go. Now they have the screamers have done their job.
This should clear up.
Ouch! Nope, no blowing up, please. Not today. All right, so I took out the screamers, right? Everybody saw that. We got all 3. Uh-oh. Now we gotta go somewhere.
Abandoned ship?
Not quite yet. Not quite yet. I'm gonna get pulled out of the ship. Okay. All right, now we let.
Almost empty on that.
Okay, I maybe hung on a little too long.
Anything you walk away from, right?
Yeah. It was the grand strategery move. All right. So we're poking around in here. So now that one, I stopped with that one because you could see that it was a severity 3. Oh, it says we still have a screamer over there. All right, so we're gonna go back. We're gonna fix the car really quick before we move anywhere. But then I'm gonna go and hop on back. So that we can start observing some. I had hoped that we would be able to do what I saw on the PTR and follow one of these infestation hordes, but it doesn't appear to be cooperating Mostly because by the time it gets to this point, they're kind of all on very similar timers. Hey, look, there's a screamer. We don't want that one talking. Okay, so we go back over here. So we've made a bunch of noise. It's very possible that we could have just pulled it away, but it looks like it's actually gotten bigger since we've left. So there goes the last of the screamers.
I should reload.
Right. And now we use our stealth to our advantage. And we let the infestation sit there. How long do we have on that one in particular? Oh, that one's going to take a while even. Because they do take a while to spin up. In terms of timer, I didn't think about that. I had like 3 infestation hordes right before stream, and they all got home. So that's sad. I wanted to show somebody. So it's gonna, for right now in the PTR, the way that it works is even if you eliminate the screamers, if you don't clear out the infestation, it stays at severity 3. I've played around with this a little bit. Even after that timer goes back up, the infestation is pretty much just going to maintain the zombie population that it has. Like if I go back after the timer has gone off, there's not going to be 3 new screamers. It'll just be sort of 10, and that's what's in the PTR. Now, whether or not that's how it's going to be once it's released, that does kind of help strategy a little bit. Let's see. But I kind of get the feeling you had mentioned that defeating Plague Hearts. Does that make the system go easier on me as a player, or does that make it more difficult?
It's complicated. We're attempting to build the Blood Plague as almost an intelligent threat actor, like something that will look for you, respond to what you do, and ramp up its response depending on how dangerous it thinks you are. So whereas when you start out, you have a couple of infestations, no plague hearts kill them. Blood plague doesn't really react to your presence. The upcoming PTR, as you kill off the first few plague nodes, that infestation and blood plague system is going to react to that and is going to become very aggressive, and will go into destroy mode. It will try to wipe you off the map. You'll see a lot more infestations spawn and a lot more frequent horde growth and sieges.
Okay.
Until you can manage to take care of the problem.
Alright, let me get up here to a relatively safe spot. It's lethal. There's no safe spot. Who am I kidding? Let me get up to a relatively safe spot at my base. And we'll see what see what Renee has to say real quick. But we've got some questions. We've got some questions in the chat that I can't quite see at the moment. In our questions thread. And then we will pose those in just a minute in approximately 350 meters. So thank you again for being here. We are talking about the PTR, how it changes our strategies, the strategies that we have used, strategies that we've heard about from you folks, some feedback that we've gotten. Zoe, I know that there has been some confusion about how folks on the PTR, especially in this go-around, give their feedback. If you could mention that real quick, like what seems to be the what's either blocking people or keeping them from being able to give feedback.
Yeah, so very simply, we have a survey out there. It counts your time in playing the vanilla game mode before it'll actually let you give an option to fill out the survey. But unfortunately, it's set to require 10 hours of play, and we don't really have that many people who've played this mode for 10 straight hours since it came out. So we're going to be shortening that time.
Good. And in the meantime, if you want to get to the survey, which we want more feedback, we certainly want to fill in some of the gaps that y'all are recognizing. Okay, so the last question we left off comes from Izzy Zig. Will the Haven device still work against these potential sieges? And I think that's another one of those. That's a good question, and it's still in the works. Zoe?
It will have value in the game, but exactly what that looks like, I can't speak to. Aside from that, it will very probably involve popping heads.
I think we already addressed this a little bit, but on harder difficulties, the frequency of the horde is going to be based on your... At all difficulties, the frequency of the horde, whether it's an infestation horde or a siege horde, is going to be based on the amount of noise or threat. I think it's the threat bar that's in your community. Like in lethal, for instance, here, let's take a really quick look. I've only got 4 people in my base on lethal here. So let's take a look, and I'm at 13 threat. So an 8 of that just comes from the difficulty. And so the answer is, to some degree, yes. Difficulty certainly has an impact, but it's basically just the amount of noise or threat that your survivors create. So with only 4, I get +2 noise per survivor, but that's different on different difficulty settings. So
that's how it works right now. In the future, we're changing a lot of this. A lot of the growth statistics for infestations are going to be directly controlled by the difficulty settings. And Eric has actually worked on a system to split the concept of threat from the concept of noise. So whereas right now your survivors make noise at the base, and that means that infestations are more dangerous and sieges are more dangerous, we're going to make it so that noise controls how fast infestations grow and spread, like they're responding to your presence on the map. And then the number of infestations control threat, which dictates how dangerous sieges are going to be.
So the number of infestations will... So if you're sort of on top of things and you're keeping the infestation population down, then it's going to be easier?
Mm-hmm. Or easier to fight off sieges.
So then the siege severity is directly linked to how you as a player are taking action or not taking action in handling zombie population on the map.
Right. This gives you a kind of buffer between the siege reaction and your actions at base. No longer will anything you do have a direct impact on how frequently you have to go back and fight off canned massive siege hordes or whatever. Now that'll feed into the growth of infestations, which in turn feeds into the separate mechanics. So it's slightly removed from your direct actions.
And feels a little less random. You know, I'd like to say that just as a player, it's really nice to be able to take control of the systems in the game instead of just being like, okay, well, it's morning and I guess I have to head back. You know.
Speaking of taking direct control over systems in the game, we still can't speak to ways you may be able to fight the hordes other than just killing them.
Oh, yeah, there was a question in chat about Outpost Options.
Still a mystery.
Yeah, that's one of the things that certainly we are talking about it. We've heard your feedback, and we appreciate that. We appreciate what everybody has been doing. Let's see if we can. What can we do here? I don't know.
It's hard to believe this place was used by people.
See what this all does for us. Can I?
kill me.
Nope. He blew himself up on the car. Alright, well. That's fine. Oh, no, I want out. Just let me out. That's not out. Whatever that was, it's not out. Ow. 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 Jump the fence.
Headshot now.
Alright, now, like all good fighters, we fired loud shots. Oh. And now we get away from where we fired the loud shots, which lets the zombies all go that way. So, in theory then, under the new system, me defeating this Plague Heart will increase the frequency with which the other infestations start appearing. Oh, that's a Juggernaut.
That is the acting theory, yes. It's not quite a kill one plague heart and bring hell down on your head sort of thing. It's like all things in the game, in all games, gridded on a curve. But there will be a response as you start to attack the plague. The plague will start to fight back.
Yeah, there's a bloater in there. Hi, window. Alright, let's go kill off this Plague Heart, and then we can talk about like how. Oops. Well, maybe it's not going to be an easy thing to kill off the Plague Heart. Come here.
Summon some explosives.
Explosives are expensive.
Not if you can summon them.
Nope. No, no, no. Uh-oh.
It's been nice knowing you.
What? I'm not gonna die here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna run out here.
You could beat your car until it explodes.
I could. Or I can use the noise of my gun to lure all of the little zombies away.
They can't see. Well, they couldn't see.
And then using the oh no, bloater blew up right where I wanted to go. And then using all of the stealth changes we've made, I can lose all these zombies.
It's still sometimes hard to remember that zombies can't see through solid objects anymore. Or weirdly, they also can't see through chain link fence. But we're working on that.
I thought we fixed that. I found that I can shoot through the chain link doors anymore. Or maybe that was not on this build. I don't know. Anyway, yay, quality of life update. It's happening. So, as you can see, we've got a lot of zombies around the Plague Heart, but we're starting to clear this out. So the idea here is, if I come in and so we saw that that one was relatively simple, right? Now, we compare that to, say, this Plague Heart. And that one's going to get pretty ugly pretty fast, theoretically, right? With that many infestations around there.
Probably.
All right.
At the very least, you'll have a lot of audio accompaniment.
Because of the screamers?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well. Oh no! Get away from my. They're gonna blow up my car before I even get it started or anything. Yep. Okay. Never mind. We're gonna have to hope that there's a repair kit nearby, or maybe being sold by these people. So Darius Bridges asked, will the NPC groups kill passing infestation hordes? So like if there's a enclave that's in the path.
Plague territory. Not nothing.
Will they be
I
the
think-
ones to shoot them? Will that stop them?
I think that depends on if you're in range to watch them do it.
Aha. That would stink. I don't need food. I need the repair kit. Repair kit? Not in a beauty salon, apparently. Okay.
Different kind of repair kit. Sorry.
Right? If you need your nails,
That up.
you need your nails fixed. Or one of those hair repair for your split ends, or maybe your hair's a little too dry, right? Who knows? Oops. All right, let's see if these people who are clearly suffering have a repair kit for me.
Hey there.
I've got stuff you'll like.
Okay.
I'm thinking no. Oh, of course. All right. Excellent. So we're stuck. There's sometimes a repair kit over at electrical stations. We'll try that.
Maybe I can headshot that bloater.
Or we could just leave it alone and you can just find a repair kit. Let's do it.
Someone in chat points out that you could just summon the blizzard van.
Oh yeah. I'm smart. Or I could just summon any of them. See, I don't have the wizard van on this. Apparently. That's a good point. Save time. Nobody wants to see me look for these things.
But you had to be rude
Apologies.
and ignore us. Big mistake.
Uh,
Oh, look who's trying to
Let's
act
take-
so soft. What a bunch of assholes.
what's this one?
I need wheels.
It's the tiger claw.
One of us
Alright,
will
where
be
is
on
it?
that.
It's over there. Alright. So when a community member kills a feral or juggernaut during a siege, we get no influence. Oh, right. Whoever gets the final blow in all of those cases, it doesn't even have to be during a siege. Like Coalition, that just doesn't happen, and it's never happened. I don't know if I don't know that it's been one of those things that we've prioritized, but I know that it exists. So we'll work on that. Okay. So anyway, thanks to chat for waking me up, reminding me that there's a way to do these things in game. Morale system changed at all due to the infestation change. It comes from Plague Bag. So I don't know that the morale system seems any different in the PTR, Zoe. You know if anything has changed there?
I think if it hasn't directly changed yet, there are plans to do so once the threat and noise split is in, but I'm not sure what those plans look like.
Okay. And then let's see. Will there be a cap to how many infestation hordes can spawn?
Yes.
Okay. And are we sure what that number is, or is that just
Like the infestation growth rate in general, it is determined by your progress in the game and your difficulty.
aha? Okay. All right. So let's go up here and try to kill. So that was a plague heart with no infestations. This is a plague heart surrounded by them. So let's see if there's any fundamental difference. Because honestly, I've been afraid until today to try to do anything different. In case it didn't feel as manageable. So we're putting this red talon on the line for posterity. Alright, we're 70 meters away. Good distance.
If I take out the nearest plague heart, this should clear up.
That's a good distance. No, thank you. No, thank you. Nobody asked for you to be here. Alright, let's stomp and crush. One more time. Okay. So if I am going slow and I'm not, say I'm not using explosives like I
Plague
haven't
hearts must
been.
give off tremendous heat.
Oh. Which plague heart is this one? Oh, it's that one. Okay. That's how we play that one. Alright, so we just point this direction. Because of the huge swing. Alright, so now that should, when it pulses like that, it sends out a huge noise wave, so that should call in quite a few from the surrounding area, right? Oh, all of those things just disappeared. Oh, and here I thought I was, oh, now I'm just, oops. I thought I was setting up this huge battle royale, and I just set up like a folk showcase. Sorry about that.
That is worth noting, though, that we do need to pay attention to what happens when you get near an infestation on the map and make sure that everyone that's supposed to stay in there does. Because I think they get attracted by the noise you make and then wander away from the infestation itself. And that leads to vanishing.
So they might actually be on their way here. Now, one of the things that I am noting is that in the last, I guess I shouldn't have noticed that. But one of the things that I noted from the last Plague Heart is that each phase there was a Plague Feral that spawned, but when I was surrounded by this many zombies, there was not. So that's probably on the spawning limits that we've got. Maybe? I don't know.
Yep. There's only so many zombies we can have fighting you at once, which is something that's caused us no end of concern and many, many, many changes.
They always scream. Why can't they just let me loot my Plague Heart in peace?
Didn't take everything.
Alright, so we'll poke over. And what do we got here? Oh, good. Good. Oh, bad. Alright. I wanted to get those, but I'm not going to be able to get them right now. So I'll come back for those stimulants in a bit. Okay. I've fallen behind on the questions, however. So, give me just a second here, folks. Sorry. I am not juggling well today. Will Watchtowers get a buff? Oh, that's a good one. I know that we've talked about this. I know that it's something we've talked about. I don't know where we're at or what we can discuss.
We are at not being able to discuss.
Okay. Will there be bounties that are specific to killing infestation hordes? I don't know. Again, that's something that's a little bit too far out there, Darius. But we'll definitely keep that in mind. The fluffiest ogre. So the curve for determining the blood plague's response is going to act as a curator, like in that the more zombies you've killed, it tracks in a point system based on what was killed, and when it hits a threshold, it responds. Like the more you kill afterwards results in more, resulting in spawning more and more threats to the player. So like the more you kill, does that mean that the blood plague is going to respond in kind?
I tried to answer that offline, but to Zenogre's question, it's not a direct response. It's not like the community standing system where you get to a certain point and then things happen. It's more of a curve where the more plague hearts you kill, the more aggressive their response is, the more infestations grow. But it's a control on the existing infestation growth rate rather than just spawning things in response to actions you take.
Let's see if there are any questions that I missed, which is probably yes. Roland. Unfortunately, like once you've done it, once you've taken your community from the main game into the beta, we very specifically only wanted that to happen once, and only in one direction. So apologies for that. Is it possible for using old or unused cars to prevent hordes from reaching your base? Like a siege horde in this case. And then I don't think so, really. Like, I don't know. I mean, you'd have to have a lot of cars because it's around your entire base, right? Like, and right now, as it stands, the safe zone specifically. So I guess if you had enough cars to just have a huge circle of cars around the safe zone, just outside
You
your
never
base.
left.
Yeah. I
Like the
mean,
instant you walk away, they'll just walk right through.
or, and then is it possible for infestations to turn into plague hearts? From Jimmy VR1, and the answer is at this point, no. And it's a very difficult. That would be a very difficult thing for us to work on. But it's a long game, and we've supported this thing for a really long time. And so, one, thank you all so much for your support, and thank you to those of you who have played in the PTR and given us so much feedback via our Discord, which you see the link every once in a while in chat, and also just in general, like those of you who have played the requisite 10 hours. The reason we chose such a long time is because the first few hours of a game, you're not going to see a lot of infestations popping up. You still have the basic challenge of getting started, but at some point, you're going to start feeling some of the pressure, and that's one of the things that I did learn from playing on the PTR is that if you just let these things go out of control, they get out of control really fast. And I unfortunately did not get to put any of that on stream, but earlier this morning, as I was prepping for the stream and making sure we were in daylight hours, I had no fewer than 4 infestation hordes, and there was no way I was going to be able to chase them all down. So it's going to change the way that you deal with infestations and you deal with the game and sieges and everything. So really great work that's going on here. So that's my goodbye for today. I just want to say thank you to everyone that's out there. Thank you for being here. We couldn't do these things without you. Without you, we wouldn't necessarily want to do these things because we do these things so that you play the game, and it's great. So thank you for playing our game and for helping us make it better for you folks by engaging with our wish list, by engaging in the PTR, and by submitting your feedback and your playtime. It really helps a lot. So, Zoe, any parting thoughts as we go toward the end of the show today?
Nothing in particular. It's always fun responding to y'all's feedback and seeing how you respond to our new additions. It's great fun making the best game we can for you.
And so without further ado, we say, have a great week. Thanks for being here. Oh, Rumble Valley backpack comes back next month.
I hope I didn't say too much. There's a lot of questions regarding things that we don't really have answers for yet.
Well, it's the awkward sign-off. We could say a lot more here.